You're watching Service Drive, exclusively on CBT News.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining me this morning for another edition of Service Drive right here at cbtnews.com. What can managers actually do differently, not just to attract, but to keep those talented techs in your service department? On today's show, we're getting recommendations from Jeff Cowan. You've seen him here before on Service Drive. He's the president of Jeff Cowan's Pro Talk, keynote speaker, trainer, and incredible author to talk about this very, very important issue of attracting and keeping technicians. As you know, if you got a good technician, guess what? All of your competition is after that individual. So when it comes to technician retention, what can managers do differently to keep their top performers? As you know, they know, those top performers know they can pretty much go anywhere, get a signing bonus, get a better schedule, get more, customer paid hour, whatever it might be. Talk to us about that.
Well, sure. So let me ask you a question. Okay, I'm going to kind of flip this back on you before I get into this. So if let's say that you're a factory trained technician, you've gone to the schools, right? Yep. You get the daily updates. You continue to train, as all good factory trained technicians do. You've invested $50,000 to $100,000 in your tools. Yep. You maybe even become a master technician because those are the best, right? Yeah. So when you go into a shop, having made all that investment, believing in this industry so much that you're going to make this your career, what's the one thing that you're going to want the shop to be able to deliver to you? Business. Exactly.
That's right.
All right.
Jobs, hours.
That's there right. You go. So the whole mystery to finding factory trained technicians, good technicians, the best technicians, master technicians, is run an ad, if you can, if it's true, that says we are looking for factory trained technicians that are interested in turning hours. We have a store of advisors. We have 4 advisors, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 1, whatever it is. We consistently write above 2.5 hours, repair order averaging 2.9. We have perfect and near perfect survey scores. We have an effective labor rate of 90% with very low returns. If you feel like you're somebody that can find and turn the max amount of hours, this is the store because we can sell. Bam. Now you'll never have to run another ad, because people that invest all that time and all that money to become a factory trained technician, they want to turn hours. Right. Why would I want to go through all this and make $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year if I could land in the right place and make $100,000, $150,000, right, or more? Yeah. And so you prove to them you've got people that can sell. Right? Because it's the same thing when you go into these places. Even the places that have them, that a lot of the technicians won't do multi-point inspections. And if you ask them, why won't you do multi-point inspections? Because by the time I do a multi-point inspection and I fill it all out and I give it to the service advisor who either can't or won't sell it, my coworkers over here have gone and gotten 2 or 3 new cars and are making money. Mm-hmm. So the real secret is to have a shop that can sell hours.
Mm-hmm. That's the key, because to your point, that's really what they want. What about scheduling? Is that an issue? I mean, obviously we're seeing service departments now. Some open up Sundays, but obviously the vast majority open up Saturday as well. I've heard from some people in the industry that the hours are getting a little crazy in terms of what they're expecting their technicians and how many hours they're expected to be there. Is that an issue or not so much?
It depends. I think it can be. I don't think it has to be. I do think it's something that technicians look at, but I think, again, you flip the script. What you do is because we assume that everybody that's a technician wants to come in at 8 and leave at 5. Mm-hmm. Okay. And in reality, the vast majority of them do. But there are plenty of families out there that would love to have a split schedule, mm-hmm, where maybe mom maybe mom goes to work from the 8 to 5 job, and dad gets the kids on the bus, dad gets them into school, and then he goes into the shop at 2 o'clock and he gets off at 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's people out there that want to do that, and there's people out there, if you advertise for them, that just like there's some people that would never want to work a weekend, there's some of these younger technicians that are single that haven't started a family. They would love to work a weekend. Yeah. Okay. They don't have anything holding them back. Right. So I think the reality of the situation is, as a business owner, you've got to do what your customers want you to do. And if your marketplace is demanding that you open up on Saturdays with a full schedule from 7 until 6 like you do every other day, then you need to do it. If your market's demanding that you open up on Sundays so you compete with the aftermarkets like Pep Boys and Goodyears and Firestone and some of the
Mm-hmm.
locals,
Mm-hmm.
then you have to do it. Now, they find technicians, and if you go look at the technicians they find, they're on schedules like I'm defining here. They're
Yeah.
people that are looking for a schedule like that.
Sure. Talk to us about what you see as from your perspective, what's a fair but sustainable compensation plan? What does that look like for technicians today? I mean, if it was Jeff Cowan, Toyota, what's the compensation plan look like?
I would just, that's where I would go to the industry standards and for the area standards, find out where you are in your marketplace and what the average technicians make. And then I'd set up a pay plan where they could make 10% more. I mean, it would just about be that simple. Now, whether that's a straight commission or which I would put them on, some type of where they get paid for the work they do.
Mm-hmm.
I'd set up so they make 10% more, and then I would have people that could sell. That's what they're after. They don't want to work for an hourly wage because technicians see themselves as being a business for themselves. I've got this skill that everybody wants, so how's the best way for me to make money? As a straight commissioner or be paid on my work? And so again, you can give your technicians a raise. Just think about this. If you're running with the national averages right now, 1.3 hours per repair order, okay, and you teach your people how to sell, you teach your advisors how to sell the work and get it done, and you go up to the 2.5 range, you just gave your technicians one hell of a raise.
That's true.
If you get up to 2.9. So it's not really the pay plan, it's giving them something to work on. So there's two ways to do it. You're either going to pay them an hourly wage, and when you do that, you're going to get lazier techs because now I don't have to turn the hours. Or you got people that can sell, and you can say, "Look, you come here. Here's what you'll have to do. You don't have to worry about making money. You're going to have to worry about where to invest it, what to buy, and what to do with it when you get it."
That's right. What are some of the common mistakes that you see managers, fixed ops managers, and such make when trying to retain top technicians?
Well, they don't display leadership. They get afraid of their techs, and so what they do is they give the power to the tech. So the tech now walks around knowing they've got all this power, and they use it. And so what happens is they get their feelings hurt, or something doesn't go their way, and they want more and more and more until the shop just can't do it anymore, and they have to let the tech go. The best thing to do when you're running a business of any type is that person sitting in the chair, the service manager, the fixed operations director, needs leadership training. They need to know how to lead. They need to become more they need to become more like a general in the Army, where, hey, look, I'm here, I'm going to put you in a position, and I'm going to give you a stall or two that's going to allow you to make X amount of dollars a year, and we need to turn this many hours a week to make that happen, because we're all here for the person who has their name on the sign, and this is what they want. So you've proven to me you got the skill to do that. So if you come in and you do that week after week after week after week, you're gonna work here as long as you want. But the first time that you decide that you don't want to work the hours, or you can't, or you don't want to turn the hours, or you can't, then you just can't sit in that chair. You can't have that stall. And of course, people are going to have bad days. They're going to have bad months. I mean, people are going to get sick. Their kids are going to get sick. They're going to go through divorces. There's going to be deaths. There's going to be all kinds of things. Where somebody would have, a few bad weeks or maybe even a bad month or so. And of course, you don't kick somebody out for that. But when it comes down to pure productivity, this is what I want. This is how I want it done. And this is the way we're going to do it. And as long as you do that, we're all going to love each other. But if not, it's not about me hating you or not hating you. It's about you not doing what I'm paying you to do. And I think that I believe that's the biggest thing that's missing in service, is there's a lack of leadership. People sitting in the chairs are afraid to lead.
That's right.
And what I tell them is what you got to do when you're looking at this is the person with their name on the sign is expecting certain results, and you're either going to give them or you're not. And if you do, then you're going to be fine. If you don't, somebody's going to lose their job.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, for sure. Where should fixed ops directors and dealers be looking for tomorrow's technicians?
I think you go to junior high, and I think you go to high schools, and I think you go to the people that had just gotten out of high school, they're looking for careers, and you start to build your own. We're in a marvelous time for technicians. And I say that knowing that there's a big shortage. I know that everybody's looking for them, but that's been going on for as long as I've been around the business.
Yeah.
We're in a marvelous time because without getting political here, over the last several years, the curtain has been pulled back on what colleges deliver.
Right.
And colleges deliver to a lot of people, and I'm not against colleges. I never went myself, but I'm not against them. I think if you're going for the right reasons and whatever, then you trust me, if I'm going to go have surgery, I want the guy or gal to have gone to
college. Right.
I don't want them to say, hey, I watched, I stayed in Holiday Inn last night.
That's right. That's right. But to your point, so many people go to college and they come out and they don't even go into the field that they just studied 4 years for, you know what I mean? And it just becomes a big waste.
Yeah, so the curtain's been pulled back that maybe college isn't for everybody, and now you've got people that are actually pushing the trades.
Yeah.
And so we need to jump in there as an industry and get these people young, junior high, high school, fresh out of high school, and say, here's the opportunity. And here's what you can do, and here's what you can have. If you want to come in and learn how to be a technician and do that through your whole life, there's a lot of honor in that. If you want to go up the ladder and be a master technician, honor in that. You want to be a manager, a fixed operations director, general manager, dealer principal, it's all right there. The auto industry offers everything to everybody that wants to go in and take advantage of it. And I think if we could get better at selling that, I think we could be on the verge of 10 years from now not having such a big problem.
That's right. And if you look at the vast majority of the technicians that are out there, few of them actually went to college, right? I mean, the vast majority came right out of high school and got right into the auto industry and are doing very, very, very well.
Yeah, and from what I've seen, they make about 30% more than the average person does that has a college degree.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the trades are being looked at very, very heavily. As a matter of fact, let me tell you how much I'm invested in that. I'm taking my program, and I apologize if this sounds like an advertisement. It's not. I'm just telling you how much I believe in saying. I'm taking my program and we're taking it to the end user, because when you write service, if you do it the right way, $150,000 a year is a real number today. And that puts you in the top 5% of income earners in the United States of America.
Right.
And so we're taking this to the end user. I'm going to show them how to do the job. I'm going to show them how to interview. I'm going to show them how to get hired within three interviews, because on any given day, check this out, on any given day, there's 20,000 openings for advisors across the United States of America, because there's 100,000 places if you count all the aftermarket places where they write service. So we're taking that to the end user, and we're going to train them to be advisors. And then I've got dealers that are signing on to, once they pass the test, because they're going to pay for it themselves, they'll give us zip codes they want to work in. We'll connect those dealers and say, here you go. And we think, we've done a lot of market research on this over the last 18 months, and we think we're going to have quite a few people sign up for it, because again, it's something that you can learn in a couple of months. It's something you can put in play in a couple more months, and it's something your first 12 months, you can make $100,000 a year. Now, imagine you're 22, 23, or you're 18, you walk out of school, you do something like that, you're making that kind of money. Or maybe you went to college, and maybe you started your career, and you're 30 years old, and you don't have what you want, and here's something you can go do. That's how much, and I've invested a ton, made Candy, my wife, very nervous, a ton of money in this, because I believe in it that much, because there's just that many people out there looking for the trades. They're looking for a place they can go and make a great living.
That's right. That's right. No doubt about it. Jeff Cowan, president of Jeff Cowan's Pro Talk, keynote speaker, trainer, author, all around great guy. He's the guy that you want in your corner when you're wanting to move your fixed ops bottom line. So Jeff, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Very much appreciated.
Thank you, Jim. You have a great day.
You too.
Thanks for watching Service Drive, exclusively on CBT News.